Welcome back, everybody. So this is my 1976 Airstream Argosy. I've been restoring this for almost 2 years now, which is way longer than I thought it would take, and I still have a long ways to go. In this video, we're going to jump right in because we got a lot to cover. Last video, we built the interior walls. We laid up some beautiful red elm veneer. In this video, this is kind of part 2 of the wall video. We're going to install those walls. We're going to put finish on those walls. We're going to wallpaper those walls. I'm going to get my wife out here to help me for the first time in I don't know how many videos we've got, which is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. We've also got a door lock to install and hatches to deal with. So let's just jump right in and get to work on this beautiful trailer. So typical locks are made with a 2 3/8 or 2 3/4 back set, and that puts your lock kind of right over here, and it hits this frame. Doesn't quite clear. I'd like the lock to be centered with the handle. Now that would look pretty good. If you look here, this is set to. This has 2 back sets, 2 3/8, 2 3/4, and it's set to 2 3/4, and that's kind of where it's centering up. So we need to modify that, and you could put the lock on the door and fix the whole backset issue, but you have a screen door behind it, so your screen door would be affected by this. So really can't put it on the door. It's got to be somewhere here on the side. So what I need to do is peel off this interior wall here and take a look at what we got in there and see if we can't modify what we have, the lock we have, for this longer backset. Okay, so before we jump into this, what I had to do, I actually had to modify, like I said, that deadbolt, and I just ended up welding a 1/2-inch rod to the end of it. I took it to a buddy's shop and had him weld it. I didn't get any footage of that, but you're going to see what that looks like here real soon. I just wanted to explain that in order to make that modification and make that back set longer, we just welded a 1/2-inch rod to the end of the deadbolt. Well, there's nothing quite like drilling a 2 1/8 inch hole in the side of the Argosy. I hope this all works out. Okay, so there you have it. Basically the wood becomes the mounting for this, and we'll end up probably running bolts or screws through the side of the door jamb into this, and that should do the job, and then we can install this. We got to drill a 1/2-inch hole for this now. So once I kind of had it all figured out, I had the guts of the lock kind of situated and how I wanted to mount it. Had to reinstall the back wall, the interior wall. Basically I just cleat ghosted on, and then that way we could drill the 2 1/8 inch hole all the way through to the inside wall and install the lock completely. Okay, so I got the hole drilled on the other side and then had to take this panel off. and probably the last 30-45 minutes been kind of working a bit frustrated here. So the problem I've been having is it wasn't quite lining up. So when you had it all the way to the locked position, it was hitting here and then pushing back on that, and it wasn't working. So I had to do some grinding. Let's see if I can get this apart. Do a little bit of grinding on the rod, which you can't see now because the wood's on it, and then some grinding down inside there. It was really this lip right here, if you can kind of see where my finger is, that was giving me the issue. So got that taken care of. Should be able to mount the inside material wall now and get it all together. Okay, so I had a little bindage, a little bit wonky, but we got it rolling. There's a sweet spot. So how you tighten these screws, if you tighten, it's weird, tighten a little bit more, it just keeps sucking in this thin aluminum wall. So if you over tighten it, everything kind of gets crunched in there and messed up. If you tighten this one a little bit more than that one, it kind of angles it properly and it works a little bit better. We're in pretty good shape. We can go from, so we can lock it from the inside, no problem. And the outside, no problem. So now what we gotta do is drill a hole in my door. She is. Give her a little nudge. Oh yeah, this is one of those specialty doors. You gotta push it just right. That's actually good because you have to push the door in, which even seals it better. Of course, if you want to open it, you know, you gotta put your shoulder into it. Man, that took entirely way too long. Okay, let's take a minute to talk about Hone Health, today's sponsor. I'm very thankful for them for reaching out and wanting to sponsor with me. I am turning 40 this week. Happy birthday to myself. I don't know if it's really worth celebrating or not. I'm getting older. I'm getting gray in my hair. I'm losing my hair. It's okay, I don't mind. I don't really care how I look. I think looking old is good. It's like that old man wisdom that you have. Gray beard, gray hair. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. But what I do care about is how I feel. And I've noticed in the last year that I'm just feeling generally weaker. I'm not quite as strong as I used to be, which that bums me out. And I know as you get older, you start to lose muscle mass. Find myself in the afternoons getting tired, super sluggish. And I'm a firm believer in a solid diet. I try to eat as healthy as I can. I don't eat bad foods. I don't eat processed foods. So that's why I'm excited about Hone Health, because maybe there's a testosterone imbalance, a hormone imbalance with me. And this is an at-home test that I can take to see if that's actually happening. So what I've learned from Hone is after the age of 30, your hormone levels actually start to decrease 1 to 2% every year. I'm 10 years past 30, so it's starting to drop. Now Hone can help optimize your hormone levels. They work with real physicians, real science, and real FDA-approved treatment methods. Emily.
Yes.
Okay, out of these things, what do I need the most help with? Increase muscle mass, decrease body fat, improved focus, a healthier sex life, stabilized mood, or help with stress management.
How many can I pick?
You gotta pick one.
Increase focus. You just lost your wallet on vacation.
Yeah, I did. I lose everything.
You do. There's a lot of stuff.
Crap. She's actually right. I'm not very focused. I'm all over the place. So I'm going to take their test, send it off, and see if possibly some of my issues might stem from a hormone imbalance. Now, for you guys who are getting a little bit older, like myself, I'm not giving you medical advice, but I think it'd be a good idea for you to go over to Hone, hit the Get Start button, give them your email, give them your shipping address, and they will send you a test that could transform your life. So head over to honehealth.com/AndyRawls to get more information. You can receive 25% off easy to use at-home assessment. Take control of your health now. A huge thanks to Hone for sponsoring the channel, for helping support the content. You guys head over, get your order, and help support the channel and help support yourself. So originally these things hinged from the top here, and now I've got them on the piano hinge. So this is the other one we're gonna do. You can see that top hinge. It just hooks into the gutter up there and hangs, and it's just kind of a lot like the windows. But these things were so whacked and just not aligned. Neither one of them worked. They were jammed closed. You couldn't close them very well. And you know, I tried to bend the hinges, tried to mess with them, and just didn't get anywhere with it. So I did some reading online, and a lot of people put these piano hinges on. You know, it doesn't look super nice. Once I paint it, it's got to be painted, it'll be better, but it works pretty well. So you can drop it down, access the inside, and I've got the lock on it. I've still got to put this inside panel on, but it just goes on up and locks like so. Pretty sweet. A lot of work went into figuring this out. This is riveted on here, and then on the inside, what I actually did was cut this. There's a little lip here for your seal to sit on. I cut a slot in that with the angle grinder and slid my piano hinge in under there, and then it's pop riveted right now, and it's so far so good. You know, I'm gonna get several more pop rivets in there. You know, now that I've cut this, you can see it's got a little wobble to it there, but I'm gonna put some sealant here on both sides just so the water's not finding its way in there, and I think that'll secure it. And then we'll put a gasket all the way around here, and it should be watertight. Let's go do the other one, and hopefully it goes better than this one. There we go. Now we're getting there. Got it. Just like that. I'm going to put this right here. Okay.
This is too flappy.
It's too flappy? Watch.
Yeah, too bumpy. It's bumpy.
That was a little bit too much pressure on that one, but you know what this is going to do? I'm going to lock you out so you can't climb through this hole anymore. Holy cow. Are you going to get stuck? What are you doing? Alright, I'm gonna close you in now. So when we go traveling, that's where you get to sleep, okay? It works! Bye, Johnny! See you later! High five. Alright, let's go swimming.
Okay.
Wanna go swimming, Jed? Alright.
Now I need to go out too.
So we're using a marine spar varnish from TotalBoat called Gleam. They have several different varnishes, but I chose Gleam. The reason I chose it is because it's super durable and it's easy to maintain. It has UV blockers in it. There's going to be a lot of UV sunlight coming in through these windows, so we want to protect the wood the best we can. I also want it to be maintainable because I know I've got 3 rowdy kids who are just going to beat this camper up, so I want to be able to come back in and add another coat if I need to. The basic process, we've got 2 coats of sealer, 3 coats of the gloss, and 1 coat of the satin. So we're going to go through that process now, starting with 2 coats of the sealer. So after I got those 2 coats of sealer on, I sand with the Orbital with 220 grit, just smooth it out real nice. Then we're going to come back and start putting the gloss on. I roll everything on with just a foam roller. The foam roller is pretty quick at getting a nice even coat across these bigger panels, but it does leave a lot of bubbles. So once I roll it on the varnish, I'm going to come back, tip those bubbles off with a brush. So we get the 3 coats of gloss on. One thing I want to note is that I did thin the gloss. I used TotalBoat special brushing thinner for their varnishes. Really helps in higher temperatures, so I would recommend getting that product if you're going to be doing this at higher temps. My helper just dropped in. You help me wipe these down, bud? Getting all nice and clean? What have we been doing? We've been sanding, haven't we? You want to go back inside? You can go back inside, bud. You want to stay out here and help me? Okay, well, I gotta work, okay? Maybe when you get a little older, okay? Okay, let's go back inside. I'm sorry, buddy. I'll take you in there, okay? I'm sorry, bud. When you get older, you can help me, alright? The next step is to go into the satin. I'm going to do 1 coat of the satin. Same deal. We're going to roll it on and tip it off with the Badger brush. Okay, next step, wallpaper. So this is going to be the wall. Toilet basically sits right here. This is the bathroom wall. We're going to wallpaper the inside. I've got the master wallpaper helping me out.
Never wallpapered anything in my life.
Neither one of us know what we're doing. But that's our wallpaper.
You got a cute wallpaper.
I had nothing to do with this, by the way. You picked that.
You approved.
I approved, I guess. I figured that Emily should give us a helping hand in some section, some part of this camper. That's good.
I watch the kids while you work. That's
Yeah, I mean, she is mom, so I couldn't get anything done without her. We don't know what we're doing,
Are
but
we doing it inside the cubby?
no. So I think we can lay it over the cubby and then get a knife and just cut it.
What's in the cubby?
Like a little medicine cabinet with a mirror.
Cool.
So basically, we'll start, because this is our straight edge, so we'll start referencing off the straight edge and then just line our pattern. I think it's, how wide is that? Like how many? It's going to be 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be less than 2.
Less than 2. All right, there it is. That took, what did that do? We did that in 30 minutes. Got the seam knocked out really good. Awesome, babe. Thanks for the help. I got a lot of things, other things to do if you want to stick around and help me out.
What do you want to do next?
You want to do some sanding?
No.
Go be a mom.
I love it.
Okay, so one of the goals for this video is to get these walls installed in the camper. And to do that, I've got this aluminum L-track. I don't know what you call it. I mean, I like to, for some reason I want to call it angle iron, but obviously it's not angle iron. Maybe it's called angled aluminum. But this stuff here will be what secures the walls to the floor. First thing we got to do is set this wall behind the toilet. That wall will go up first, and basic placement for it is right behind. Don't mind this. This is a huge mistake. I haven't shared that with you guys. I drilled the wrong location for the vent pipe. So hopefully walls cover this. We're gonna have to figure out how to fix that later. I've got a laser here. You can see that green dot right on the other side of where the actual vent pipe goes. I've marked a line. That's where the edge of that wall needs to be. It comes up. You can see up at my roof there. That green dot, that is on this side of my wires. So my wires will feed through the wall on that side. So what we want is a straight line parallel to the bed. So we're gonna get that marked off. And then I know my walls are 2 5/16 thick, so I'll mark over 2 5/16, and that is where the edge of this channel needs to go. Okay, this has been weeks, months of work building these walls, and it just is really nice when it all just goes to plan. It all fits in there great. The channel works really well. It's kind of locked in there, set where I want it. What I can do, I can do two things. I can try to screw in here, which I think is a bad idea, or I can put a trim piece. If I could do this again, I would have ordered something with a little higher spot here and countersunk and put some nice screws in, because this looks pretty clean, this aluminum on the inside. But that worked out really well. So and then your bathroom, you get your bracket there. This one kind of hit where this little patch was, but it's okay, because I think we're going to build a little cabinet maybe to here or something and put a little shelf here. That'd be kind of cool. That won't be hidden. So screw down there, rivets, and then once we put the main wall in across to attach to that wall, it's all locked in place. Beautiful. Okay, so that closes it down for this video. A lot of work got done. I gotta tell you, everything on this camper just takes a lot longer than you think it will. And like I've said from the beginning, it's one step at a time. It just turned out to be a whole lot of steps. I mean, thousands of steps. So you just gotta focus on each step, get it done, and move on to the next thing. One thing that I didn't show that I, real quick, will just go over. This wall was run with conduit, so I can run wires in it. So I've got wires coming out here, wires coming out here. These go to a switch for lights, and then they wrap around and send power to this here, which will be in another wall, and it'll be a switch for your bathroom lights. In theory, this was a really good idea. In execution, it didn't go very well at all. This is stupid. What I should have done, I had a really hard time getting these wires through there, and I need to put some protection around them. I made it happen. They're in there, and I've got an outlet here, so this will power a TV or something. I haven't figured out quite what I want to do. And then obviously we've got our switch here, and I made these lights dimmable, which is kind of nice. A little better there. So you can see bright, dim, bright, dim. Works great, and it turns on and off. So that's taken care of. I'll be able to dim these because obviously this is the back, and I don't need it. I've got 5 of them back here, which is probably way overkill. So it'll be kind of nice to dim them out. Getting back to this, what I should have done is pre-wired the wall. So I made my connections up here, and I should have just put the wires in the wall and then done the same thing back here, made the connection. I'm gonna cover this. That way I wasn't trying to fish wires through. I could have easily pulled the wires through in the shop on my workbench, as opposed to trying to cut this really hard turn and go down in there. It was hard to do. So if you choose to do the walls this way, just run the wires before you bring the walls in. It's much easier. Make your connections in the ceiling. I'll do that here. We'll run the wires and make a connection here and hide it. Whew. So that wraps it up, folks. Next video, we're going to be starting on the bathroom. So I've got a platform here to build up. I'm going to be running vent pipes, and haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with my shower, how I'm going to build that, but I'm going to start that process for the next video. We also have this entire section to build out, so we're going to start building furniture in the next video. Exciting. Also have an AC unit I need to put on. Been putting that off, so that's coming in. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. I couldn't get through this process without y'all's support. It is a challenging restoration, and I just appreciate the comments, the tips, the help y'all give me, and even the negative ones help kind of motivate me to keep going. So I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Y'all stay tuned. We'll see you next time.